Hi. So some of you might already know I left my corporate banking job of 3 years recently. I'm not telling you to do the same thing, but if you're in the same situation as me, where you're feeling burnt out, when your bosses are constantly stressing you out, or your work is just not giving you that sense of fulfillment, but instead it's giving you mental stress and anxiety, then maybe this video is for you. I've done enough and I've had enough to quit my job and not worry about money for the next 2 years straight. This is done through detailed and proper planning every step of the way. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, step by step. So even if you're not ready to quit tomorrow, you'll know exactly what it takes and you have the roadmap ready for you. Before I break down the numbers, I want to be very clear about something. Money doesn't buy you happiness. That's true. But you know what money buys? Money buys you freedom. The freedom to choose, the freedom to wake up and say that I don't want to do this anymore. That is something Morgan Housel wrote in the book, The Psychology of Money. And when I read it, it stuck to me. Once you have a plan in place and have done the math and you know that you have 2 years of buffer, you won't be that anxious anymore because the numbers will calm your emotional mind and you'll just be stress-free. Step one is actually calculating your runway, calculating how much you actually need. This is how much your savings will last you at your monthly spending rate, which also means how long I can go without a monthly income. You need one critical piece of information here first. How much are you actually spending every single month? For me personally, I've been tracking my expenses for the past 3 years. I know exactly where my money is going, and this has helped me give me a concrete number on how much I'm spending every single month. But if you're somebody who doesn't track your expenses, no worries. All you need to do is add up the total outflow in the past 12 or 24 months through your bank statements and divide it accordingly. My monthly spending is about $1,000 every single month, which is about $12,000 every single year, to continue living the current life that I am living. Since I am aware that I didn't want to stretch that thin, so I actually targeted to build enough for about 2 years comfortably. So I budgeted for around another 25% more, meaning about $15,000 every single year. Life is not always the same. Some months you spend more, you go for weddings, friends' birthday, friends' gifts. Maybe something unexpected happened and broke and you need to pay for it. You want to bring your parents out for a good meal. That's the reason why I prefer to buffer a little bit more to give me and the people around me a peace of mind. Next is to actually buffer for your recurring expenses, be it yearly or monthly, like your insurance, utility, subscriptions. Everything came out to be about $3,000 per year for me, because if you didn't plan for all this upfront, you might feel like your budget is very tight and midway you might panic and might not even have enough. If you have any form of debt or installments, for me it would be Invisalign, maybe for you it would be your mortgage or your car payment. Make sure you factor in this as well. Lastly is my investments. Even on this journey, I want to keep myself invested. I didn't quit my job to just be stagnant for the next 2 years. I'm using this time to build something new, but I'm also staying true to my financial goals and my FIRE goals as well. So I budgeted about $500 every single month for consistency and about $6,000 per year. So some of you might think that this is a bit crazy, like, Xiao, how can you invest when you are not even earning any single cent, right? I understand if this is your situation and this situation is tight, this might be the first thing that you will cut. But think of it as my hobby and my non-negotiable that I am not willing to forgo. And there might be some things that you would love to spend on, regardless of if you have an income or not. And be it maybe that thing is good or bad for you, so long as it's your non-negotiable and you're happy with it, by all means, please go ahead and do it. Investing keeps it fun for me. I still love to do stock picking, pay attention to the stock market. It keeps me in some form of mindset that my money is growing and I am building wealth. The earlier that you invest, the longer it works for you, and more importantly, I can always draw down on my investment if I ever need it as my last resort. All in all, the number that I got was about $48,000. This is not going to be inclusive of your emergency funds, so make sure that you factor in about 3 to 6 more months of it, which will put my final value at about $50,000 to $54,000. But of course, I can realistically make do with about $40,000. So step 2 actually is to optimize your spend. Now, this number that you have just gotten, we have to now work backwards on how we're going to get there and what is the fastest way to achieve this. If you already have this amount saved up in your savings account, then great, you should be all good to go. But if you don't have it, then maybe it's time to start working towards it. Step 2 is all about cutting your monthly expenses and being intentional about it. For me, every single thing I was paying for regularly, I asked myself, does this actually make my life better? Or am I paying it because I'm a bit too lazy or it's just convenient for me? Those are two very different reasons behind buying something. And taking a Grab instead of maybe public transport because I'm too lazy to leave the house early, or maybe it's too hot to be walking out in the sun. I rather order food delivery compared to maybe walking 5 minutes down to my hawker center or coffee shop to buy food. These are things that will add up over time. I'm not saying that you can't do this. If a meal with a friend, by all means, please go ahead and enjoy it. If it's because maybe you're with your parents and it's inconvenient to take the public transport, these things better serve the people around you. Please go ahead and do it as well. Step 3 is actually planning for irregular income. Okay, so here's something I did that I feel like nobody really talks about. I didn't just assume I'll make zero money for 2 years straight, even though I planned for it. I knew that there will still be some sort of income coming in the next 2 years. So I planned for 3 different outcomes. Scenario A, I have no income for the next 2 years and I live off the money that I have saved up. Scenario B is I pull in maybe about $300 to $500 a month from options trading and possibly part-time roles that I can find. And that might stretch out my fund for a longer period of time. And scenario C is somehow I start making decent income through other means, which is equal to more than my monthly expenses. I plan for scenario A, that way I never freak out or panic, but I hope for B or C. If that happens, then things will be amazing for me. I don't count on the money that I haven't made, but I also don't think that I am never going to make anything in these 2 years. Step 4 is optimizing your savings. Make sure you have your money that you can help generate some form of returns while you are preparing for it as well. Put your money into things like a high interest savings account. Even at 2% interest right now, if you have $30,000 sitting in there somewhere, that's about $600 a year risk-free, which is like free money, and the conditions to hit is not going to be very difficult. Most banks just require you to credit your salary and spend on their credit card. Next up are money market funds, which is another alternative. These are low-risk instruments, which also keeps your money liquid for when you need it. But do note that these are not completely risk-free, so there are form of risk involved in this. So next up is T-bills. T-bills are short terms. If you can actually lock up your money for about 6 months in treasury bills, they are giving decent returns before, but maybe not as amazing as maybe your bank account or your money market funds anymore. But it can still help to generate some form of returns if, let's just say, you're looking at this video in the future and T-bill rates have got up. All of these are meant to grow your money. They're not quick ways to grow your money, but it ensures that your money is growing somewhat in line with inflation. Your money should work for you even when you are not working. So in conclusion, look, I want to be very clear about something. This video is not about me telling you to go and quit your job. What I am showing you is that with proper planning step by step, you can actually give yourself some form of freedom and clarity. You can actually be living a life where you're not afraid to lose your job. Because if your job fires you one day, you know that you will be ready. That's the message that I'm trying to bring across, especially in this day and age where AI can just replace you, and I see entire departments getting outsourced to cheaper countries. The possibility of this happening is growing every single day. I see too many people too reliant on their jobs, and sometimes I even feel scared for them because when they tell me, what if I lose my job? I don't know what I can do. I always also feel a bit scared for them. You always prepare for the worst so that you do not panic when things hit the fan. And I wish that more people can adopt this same mindset. It's not about quitting, it's about having options. It's about waking up and knowing that if, let's just say, something were to happen or fall apart tomorrow, you are not going to be panicking. You have a plan that you've been preparing since day one. So here's what I want you to actually do. Calculate your monthly spending, figure out your number, and just by knowing this number, this will give you some form of clarity and ease and security as well. So if you found this video helpful, please help to subscribe. I'm going to share more about my journey, the real numbers and the struggles behind everything that I'm facing, and I want to document this whole thing. So thank you for watching, and now please go ahead and find your runway number.